They said he was too short for K-1 to compact, too small for a division built around tall, long-limbed technicians who controlled distance with sharp jabs and punishing kicks. In a sport where reach often equals advantage, many believed he would be outmatched before he even got started. But every time the bell rang, someone hit the canvas. 80-7 brutal knockouts, 18 world titles, a career built not on size, but on destruction. At one point, he didn't just compete in K1 Max, he terrified it. Fighters prepared for him differently. They trained harder. They knew that if they made one mistake, even for a second, the lights could go out. This is the story of Mike Zambidis, the mini Mike Tyson of kickboxing. A compact powerhouse from Greece who turned his supposed physical disadvantage into a weapon. He wasn't the tallest fighter in the ring, but his forehead was always inches away from danger because he refused to take a step back. He didn't fight cautiously, he fought violently. When Zambidis faced Albert Kraus, the contrast in styles was obvious. Kraus was the technician, a former K1 World Max champion known for crisp combinations, smart footwork, and disciplined strategy. He represented everything the division valued: control, timing, precision. Zambidis represented chaos. From the opening bell, Kraus tried to establish distance. He wanted to dictate the pace with jabs and measured strikes. But Zambidis didn't care about rhythm. He didn't care about textbook technique. Every time Kraus tried to settle into his groove, Zambidis exploded forward with hooks that seemed to come from nowhere. He closed distance like a missile. Then, in round 2, it happened. Zambidis slipped inside and unleashed a brutal overhand right. It crashed through Kraus' defense and sent him down hard. It wasn't just a knockdown, it was a statement. The so-called undersized brawler had just flattened one of the most respected technicians in the sport. That knockout echoed throughout the division. It proved that precision can be erased by power. Next came Billy Mamu, with a World Grand Prix opportunity on the line. The stakes were massive. For many fighters, that kind of pressure tightens the nerves. For Zambidis, it fueled the fire. From the first exchange, he attacked relentlessly. Headshots, body shots, hooks that dug into the ribs and snapped the head back. Mamu tried to answer, but Zambidis' aggression was overwhelming. He didn't allow space to breathe. He didn't allow time to think. It felt less like a fight and more like a storm. Tearing through a building, the punishment accumulated quickly. Another heavy right hand landed. The damage was clear. And then the towel came flying in from Mamu's corner. When a team throws in the towel, it means survival matters more than pride. Zambidis didn't just win that fight, he forced surrender. Then came what many fans consider one of the greatest K-1 Max fights of all time. Zambidis versus Chahed El-Hajj. Chahed was calm, sharp, and technical. He didn't panic under pressure. He didn't get emotional. On paper, he was exactly the type of fighter who should have been able to neutralize Zambidis' aggression. But fights aren't won on paper. From the opening bell, Zambidis marched forward like a man possessed. Hooks, uppercuts, combinations thrown with violent intent. Chahed responded with sharp counters and brutal kicks. The exchanges were ferocious. Neither man backed down. Neither man gave ground. Round 1 alone felt like a full fight. In round 2, Zambidis detonated a left hook that dropped Chahed. The arena exploded. But Chahed showed incredible heart, rising to his feet and firing back. Moments later, another knockdown. The fight turned into pure chaos, both fighters swinging, absorbing, and returning punishment in equal measure. When the final bell rang, the judges scored it a draw, an extra round. The crowd was on its feet, and in that deciding round, Zambidis did what he had built his career on. He stepped inside and unleashed another devastating overhand right. Chahed collapsed. That wasn't just a victory. That was legend-making violence. A fight that cemented Zambidis as one of the most dangerous men in the sport. Not all of Zambidis' battles were just physical. Before facing Gurkanozkin, tensions boiled over at a press conference. Words were exchanged. Then disrespect crossed the line. Water was thrown in Zambidis' face. For some fighters, that might rattle them. For Zambidis, it ignited something deeper. When the bell rang, there was no hesitation. He attacked immediately, combinations flying with bad intentions. Oskin tried to answer, but the fury was too much. A crushing overhand right ended the night in the first round. Sometimes revenge takes time. Sometimes it takes one punch. Against Wayne Parr, things were different. Parr was a respected veteran, a legend in Muay Thai circles. This wasn't about disrespect. It was about legacy. The fight exploded instantly. Brutal exchanges. Heavy body shots. Parr chopped at Zambidis' legs with punishing kicks, trying to slow him down. Zambidis responded by digging vicious shots into the ribs and unloading combinations upstairs. It was a war. Both men emptied the tank. But when it was over, Zambidis stood victorious. Not because he was taller, not because he was longer, because he was more relentless. Then came the clash with Buakaw, one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters in history. This was a true test. A collision of styles at the highest level. Zambidis came forward as always, looking to detonate his hooks. But Buakaw's control of distance was masterful. His kicks were brutal and precise, chopping at Zambidis' legs repeatedly. Each strike slowed the forward charge just a little more. Zambidis kept hunting for the knockout, swinging with everything he had. But that night, technique and range control prevailed. Buakaw earned the decision. Even in defeat, though, Zambidis gained respect. He never stopped pressing, never stopped swinging. He forced one of the greatest to fight hard every second. That was the essence of Mike Zambidis. He wasn't the tallest in the division. He wasn't the longest. He didn't rely on finesse. He relied on impact. In a sport dominated by reach and strategy, he built a legacy on explosive power and fearless aggression. Some fighters win rounds by accumulating points. Zambidis erased rounds with one punch. They said he was too short for K-1. But when the bell rang, none of that mattered, because when Mike Zambidis stepped forward, you weren't fighting his height. You were fighting his power. And sooner or later, almost everyone hit the canvas.